Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi dan salam sejahtera. Yang Mulia Perdana Menteri Singapura Wong, Timbalan Perdana Menteri, Menteri Premier dan rakan-rakan yang dimuliakan, pada hari ini kita dapat saksikan satu pertemuan yang bermakna di antara kedua negara. And I am, of course, on behalf of the Malaysian government and people, wish to express my profound thanks and appreciation to Prime Minister Lawrence for being here for the annual retreat between Malaysia and Singapore. We recorded Singapore not only as a neighbor but very important ally and committed to enhancing bilateral relations, and we have seen various achievements in all fields of endeavor, and today we have seen new measures extending beyond the traditional sort of arrangements into new areas including education, energy, and a few other investments. Of course, Singapore remains as our number one, field, bilateral investments, and also in terms of trade. And we look forward to enhancing this, particularly with the Johor-Singapore Economic Zone, which to me a spectacular sort of a move within the region and of course internationally. And I look forward to working well with Prime Minister Lawrence on this. How else can we help and work not only to ensure the success of Johor, Malaysia, but also Singapore, and jointly in the region. And then we discussed a number of issues, including some concerns of maritime cooperation, which has been there for some time, but at least there is clear commitment and progress. Similarly, with this water discussions, we are reopening the discussions, and the technical team will discuss the parameters. We explored the, suggestion, particularly by Sarawak government, on the export of energy using the undersea cable through Semenanjung to Singapore, or alternatively other measures which would require the understanding of our other neighbors. We also discussed the issue of Flight Information Region, FIR, recognizing the needs of Malaysia in terms of its connectivity with Sabah Sarawak, but at the same time the requirements of Singapore to ensure that the performance and activities in Changi and Selangor is unaffected and will be further facilitated. So, and thank again for the support for Malaysia's chairmanship ASEAN, and I look forward to engaging with Prime Minister Lawrence. Although he's just assumed the position of Prime Minister, but I think I've met him a number of times. His exchanges have been extremely cordial, friendly, and helpful in many, many ways in terms of our joint effort and commitment to enhance bilateral relations between Malaysia and Singapore. So I wish a Happy New Year. We just recovered from COVID, brilliant, and I'm extremely pleased, and I think I share the sentiments expressed by my colleagues. And you see the number, presence of our ministers, and also the importance we accord as a friend and as a trusted friend, Singapore, and I really wish that we could continue and do more together as two great friendly nations. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. I now have the honor to invite His Excellency Prime Minister of Singapore to deliver his statement.
Thank you, Prime Minister Anwar, for your warm hospitality extended to me and my delegation for this visit and for our first leaders retreat together. Unfortunately, we were not able to meet in December last year. I came down with COVID. One of those things that happens unexpectedly. I thank you and the Malaysian government for making the accommodations to adjust to a different date, and I'm very glad that we are able to find a date right at the beginning of 2025. So I'm your first visitor for the year, and I'm glad that we are able to start the new year on such a positive footing to have this visit and to have our first leaders retreat together. Of course, PM Anwar and I have met many times bilaterally since my first introductory visit last year, and also in regional and multilateral forums. We've built up a very strong understanding, friendship, a relationship built on trust with one another, and that anchors our bilateral relationship as well. So this retreat is a useful opportunity to strengthen our friendship even further. We both agreed on a shared vision of growing connections and connectivity between our two countries. For example, we are celebrating our shared heritage. We have done so through the joint nominations of the Kebaya and Jingge for UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage List, and we are having a tri-annual cultural showcase which Malaysia will host this year in conjunction with the 60th anniversary of diplomatic ties. We are investing in our shared future together. You saw the host of agreements that we exchanged just now, including the MOU on higher education, as well as the exchanges of English teachers through the Malaysia-Singapore English Volunteers Program, which both PM Anwar and I discussed during my introductory visit last year. We both agree that bilateral cooperation must continue to deliver concrete benefits to both our peoples. And that's the basis on which we worked on the Johor-Singapore SEZ or Special Economic Zone. It's an important project which will build on the complementary strengths of Singapore and Johor, so that we can both be more competitive, enhance our value proposition, and jointly attract more investments to our shores. And by doing so, it will create good jobs and more opportunities for our peoples. When negotiating the agreement, both sides have actively engaged stakeholders to ensure that the SEZ has the conditions to help our businesses grow together for the longer term. So we are confident about the SEZ, and we look forward to taking it forward. We are also enhancing and strengthening our transport connectivity. Besides the SEZ, transport connectivity is important. We have the RTS link, which will commence services by end 2026. In fact, when completed, it will be able to carry 20,000 passengers every hour. That's more than the current KTM shuttle does in an entire day. So it is going to be important, and we are continuing to see how we can enhance the connectivity further. On the Singapore side, we are working hard to redevelop Woodlands checkpoint, which will, when done, help to tackle congestion at the checkpoints too. Sustainability is a key priority for both sides, so we have also discussed and made good progress on how we can cooperate on green energy and sustainability, including through cross-border electricity trading. There are some projects that we are discussing, both coming through Laos, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, as well as from Sarawak. And we are fully committed to realizing the ASEAN power grid. And just now we signed 2 MOUs on carbon credits and carbon capture and storage, because both countries are committed to working out solutions to jointly tackle climate change. Both Prime Minister Anwar and I have also discussed outstanding bilateral issues, which he mentioned just now, including on airspace, water, and maritime delimitation. These are all important issues for both our countries. We will continue to discuss these issues holistically and constructively within the overall context of our broader relationship. The issues are complex. We have made some progress, but we still need more time to resolve them. But we will continue to engage in good faith and as good neighbors. And I'm confident that working together, we can develop durable outcomes on all of these issues with a balance of benefit on both sides. On ASEAN, Singapore fully supports Malaysia's ASEAN chairmanship this year, and I'm confident that under Prime Minister Anwar's leadership, ASEAN's community building efforts and its engagement with key partners will continue to grow from strength to strength. Finally, as we celebrate the 60th anniversary of diplomatic ties this year, we can be proud of what we have accomplished together as good friends and close neighbors. I am glad to find in Prime Minister Anwar a partner who is equally committed to ensuring that our ties continue to flourish and uplift both our peoples. So I thank Prime Minister Anwar for his friendship, for the trust that we have established, for the arrangements for today's visit, and I look forward to meeting him again before too long, either in Malaysia or in Singapore. I will certainly be visiting Malaysia for upcoming ASEAN meetings, and I look forward to hosting him in Singapore for the Leaders Retreat later this year. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Honorable